And yes, indeed, courtesy of our friend Maximal10, today we go back in time with Beast Wars and K-9. This is not the original K-9. This is the more recent vintage reissue that I guess came out in 2024. It's hard to say. I heard that it was a Walmart exclusive, and certainly in the US it was. But here in Canada, I've seen these at Walmart, I've seen them at GameStop, and I've seen them at Toys R Us. So go figure. I have a KO of K-9, and I reviewed that previously, and we will see that in comparison here. The whole point of Maximal10 getting this was he said, hey, you could do a version of Tessatron. For those who don't know, Tessa is our dog, and she's very kind of blondie in color, sandy in color, and sort of German Shepherd-esque in look. She's like a Carolina dog. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. But how does the official K-9 compare with the KO of K-9? Let's find out in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is the official K-9, the vintage reissue one. Years ago, about 7 years ago, Montoy did a range of Beast Wars KOs. Most of them were Beast Wars 2, but in the mix was K-9. And I said then when I reviewed that one that I thought he was pretty great for a KO. But how does he compare to the actual? Let's find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. So courtesy of our buddy Maximal10, we're taking a look at the Transformers Beast Wars K-9 today, and this is not the Montoy KO of K-9 that I looked at back in November of 2023 in episode 1127. Now, because I did look at the Montoy KO of K-9, we will not be looking at the transformation the way he comes in package. He comes in package in beast mode, dog mode. But because we already looked at that transformation via the KO, we're actually going to do it in reverse this time and go from robot back to dog mode. So if you want to know how to do the outer package transformation, go back and look at episode 1127, because I'm telling you right now the transformation scheme between the KO and the official is the exact same, which is good because I thought the KO was really, really well done. I gotta believe that this one is going to be better, right? This is the packaging. This is not, I don't think, an original. I think this is one of those like reissues. I believe they were Walmart exclusive, at least in the States. I never ever saw them at Walmart here. I did see a couple at GameStop. That's a lie, I did see them at Walmart. But I also saw them at GameStop, and I also saw them at Toys R Us. So I don't know if they trickled down to those other retailers after they came to Walmart, or if it just wasn't exclusive here in Canada. I have no idea. But you can see that this packaging looks very much like the packaging did in the 90s. We have the eye inside. This is kind of the rocky bubble. No, I guess it's the smooth bubble. It came off. The glue came off, so that says something about the glue. Don't need that on there. On the back, of course, you can see the directions and all of that stuff. I mean, it's your typical Beast Wars packaging. And because the instructions are on the back of the packaging, and technically we already saw them, we can go right to K-9 and KO K-9. This is KO K-9. This is the official K-9. I guess the only things worth noting from the packaging that I didn't note there is that, you know, there's a little blurb about how animals and I guess engineering have been fused to give us, you know, heroic maximals and evil predacons. In terms of K-9 stats, his strength is a 5, his intelligence, I guess, is an 8, his speed is a 7, and his fire blast is a 4. Although, that said, if you were to read the bio just below that, it says that his function is guard duty, and it says that, like, K-9 is always alert, With his lightning fast reflexes, his speed's a 7. I mean, his reflexes could be faster. And ultra sensitive K-9 nose. When it comes to combat, his bite is definitely worse than his bark. A whole bunch of dog things there. This was given to me by Maximal 10. He said customize it into a version of Tessa, our dog Tessa, who is a, we think, a mix between a husky and a Carolina dog, or a, sometimes they're called American dingoes. They're found in the southern U.S. We were told that she was a mix between a German Shepherd and like maybe a golden retriever. But the more we've researched it, we're pretty sure that it's a mix between a husky and a Carolina. Nevertheless, that is the intention over having the official version, though I do think I would be able to customize the KO into something better. Couple of things that I'm going to note before I take the KO out of it. No, the two, I guess, missiles, I suppose we'll call them, that's in the tummy of the official, do not fit in the tummy here. We do not have any spaces for them, nor do they work in the tail blaster. I already tried. They will not go in there. So the KO, it's a great KO, honestly, especially now that I have the official next to it. It's a great KO, but it obviously has its limitations. So let's take him out of it. And we can look now at K9 here, somewhat proper. So let's talk about, first and foremost, his coloration. I mean, by default, I'm going to give it a 10. He's been in some comic books, but they really use this as the basis for that artwork. And besides that, he wasn't in the show, right? He wasn't in Beast Wars. I do have these things put in the front. They can obviously come out of here and go into his blaster. And there's a little button, and it's fairly strong. Like, hold on, see if I can do this proper. Got that in there, right? Like, I mean, they're actually fairly strong. You can also notice that I have his back on here, the back of the dog mode, but of course we can take that off, and we can also pop these out because I had them in the front, and you can, if you want, because this is the way that they were like in package, you can leave them in the back and take that out of his hand and like have them sticking out the front. That's up to you. In terms of the let me stand this guy up. In terms of the, I guess, backpack piece, and I'm looking here now, this should, yeah, you can pop out a section here, center of the chest, and it gives you a little peg that you can slide him into, I guess, up through his hand? Yeah, and there's the shield. The KO can also do that, which is nice. So it's a feature that the official has that the KO also has. Neat. The articulation, oh, I guess I should note this too. He has his mutant mask head, but you can pick it up for the robot head with the green eyes. That's pretty cool. The head goes left and right, a little wiggle up and down. I find you get a little more movement if you actually leave the mutant mask down. These dog head pieces on the shoulders, they can move all around on ball joints, really. The shoulders go all the way around on ball joints, out to the side, deep, I mean double elbow, really. The front paws are here on the side. You can get them out of the way. They're not ball joints. You can move them how you like. No wrist. No wrist. No waist. No waist. The side hip skirts, though, they can get up out of the way. So you can get all the way out to the side. You can get, I mean, ooh, I just popped that off the ball joint. Did not expect that. I mean, you can get about that far, I guess. If you turn the leg out a little bit, you can get all the way up, right? So you can get it if you work it a bit. All the way back, so that's cool. I guess a thigh wiggle because of the ball joint up here. It's not really a dedicated rotation, it's just a wiggle. Knees, I mean, very, very deep. Really, I think because of transformation, but very, very deep. And a heel down, I guess a toe down, a little bit, but no ankle tilt. It was I mean, considering Beast Wars followed up G1, G2, I think that, like, this is spectacular articulation for the time. I mean, a waist would be nice, ankle tilt would be nice. I'm going to give this a, let's say about an 8. An 8's not bad, especially for something that is engineering this old, right? I mean, we're looking at, what, almost 30 years? Wow, crazy. The coloration, I mean, by default, I have to give it a 10, really, because it was one of those things that got designed, that got put out, wasn't in the cartoon, right? So we kind of have to give it the default of a 10. Let's do the transformation. We have a 10, we have an 8. Right now the guy's getting a 9. It's a great transformer. We're going to begin, where are we going to begin? Let's fold up these arms and kind of bring them in a little bit here, and fold up this arm and bring it in here on the chest. We're going to bring those arms in on the chest. We're going to take this dog head piece and turn it around, and this dog head piece and turn it around. We're going to bring these up over the top here, and we're going to put them together. We're going to extend the body. I'll say this slider here on the body, a lot smoother on the official one than on the KO. We're going to close this piece up on the side and bring it in. We're going to close this piece up on the side and bring it in. You heard it snap in. We're going to bring this pod down and up, and you'll notice that there's a circular peg there. That'll go into a circular peg hole up under right there and peg in no problem. Same on the other side. We're going to take the circular peg and put it up into the peg hole. We're going to bring this down and bring this down. We're going to fold in a heel and fold up a foot and bring all of this. Man, look at that. Popping right off the ball joint. Honestly, that's a strange problem that I'm only noticing right now. Certainly did not experience that issue with the KO. I'll say that. I've never had the ball joints pop on the KO. I'm going to bring this up over as well. And straighten that down. And you'll notice now, of course, we have like most of a dog here, but not an entire dog. We have to take the, there's the tail that slots in right there. And lastly, you'll notice we have two peg holes up there. There are pegs on the back piece. The triangular part is also going to go up here. And all this should fit down nice and snug and smooth so that in the end, see if I can do this now. Make sure I got all of this done. Yeah, in the end, boom, here we have K-9 in his, well, K-9 mode. And here we have official and KO. You can see that the black fading is left off of the KO, but it certainly has the black top. By the way, the handle that fills in the back here on the KO, that's just left as like a little open square. And obviously the plastic here does not feel as robust as this plastic. But you know what? This was pretty great. The transformation scheme here is fantastic. It's smoother than it was with the KO. I'm pretty sure I gave the KO a 9, if not a 10, for the transformation. I'm going to still give it like a 9, because maybe even a 10, because honestly, everything on the official here works so buttery, super smooth. I love it. I really, really do. He was getting a 9. We're going to say, I mean, he's not perfect because of the articulation limits with the waist and the ankle, but man, I'm going to say a 10 for the transformation. I'm going to say this is a 9.5. What a fantastic transformer. What a fun transformer, and what a fantastic Beast Wars offering. I realize that this is dated by today's standards in 2025, but man, oh man, when this came out in, what, 96, 97, whenever it was, honestly, it was leaps and bounds ahead of its time. In terms of articulation in this mode, I mean, I guess these legs can kind of, you know, the back legs can kind of move, the tail, it can sort of wag, I suppose. The front legs don't really move at all, and the head doesn't really move. So such is life, but that's the way Beast Wars was. K-9 wasn't in the show, but man, he's a bundle of fun. And here we are once again, and here they are. Now, the KO is in my left hand over here, the official is in my right hand over here. In terms of feel of plastic, the official obviously feels a little bit better. Though, to be fair, the KO's plastic doesn't feel as bad as you would think it would. In terms of the transformation, honestly, I find the KO transformation to be a little tighter. Not because of the slider. I find the slider on the official to be much better. But the hip ball joints on the KO actually are better than the hip ball joints on the official. I've popped the legs off a few times. They're easy to put on, but still, I have popped the legs of the official off a few times. I've never had that happen with the KO. In terms of the coloration, I love the fading of the black into the yellow here, and I like the kind of lighter shade of yellow, even though I know the original did not have as light of a shade of yellow. In terms of a repaint for Tessa, it would certainly be easier to do the official because it's closer to her actual color. But I feel like if I'm going to paint something to look like my dog, it's probably better that I would do it with a KO. And I don't know if I will. I have no idea if I'm going to undertake that, but time will tell. In terms of articulation, both of them have comparable articulation. Naturally, the official is just a little bit better. In terms of things just moving smoothly, same thing with the slider and the middle of the body. On the KO, that gets caught up sometimes. On the official, that moves very smoothly. The head of the official has a decent range of motion and articulation for the time. The head on the KO does nothing. In dog mode, I like the look of the official better, and I guess not for nothing, but if you really want to load his tail blaster with the, I'm going to call them missiles because I don't know what else to call them, that come out of his tummy, you can do that. They don't fit in the tail blaster of the KO, so that's not going to be something that you're going to be able to like cross-use. I like K-9, I like the KO, and I like the official. The mutant mask on the KO, by the way, might be, it's not his mutant mask, so it might be Wolfgang's. I'm not really sure. Any way you cut it, whether you have the KO, the original, or the reissue, honestly, for a character that did not appear on the show, K-9 is a bundle of fun anyway. Let me know what you think about K-9, the KO, or the official for that matter. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you just pass on it because it wasn't a character on the show and couldn't care less? I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Stick around, man. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either at the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.